Oh,
We're there.
we are? Okay.
Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach. I will not be here next week, ladies and gentlemen. I will be actually at the U.S. Open. So can't wait to see the golf course. I'm going to try my hardest actually to walk around it a little bit before the week really starts, and kind of just see how they shave the fairways.
What have you heard about what they've done to the course?
So obviously roughs up in certain areas. There are some holes that they have actually gone to the limit, which is I think 20 yards wide or 23 yards, and they've really just went right on that. Mm-hmm. So if the hole is not that long, they've made it very, very narrow. I don't know any of the holes that they always like to give you a par 4 that's drivable. I don't know if that's going to be which hole they're going to do that yet. I don't know where they're going to put that. But they will do it to a point where if you don't hit the right shot, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. I did notice on some Instagram pages that they have taken the rough on 18 and they've taken it almost to the tree that is in the middle of the fairway. And then they shave the whole left side fairway all the way they're shaving it all the way to the rocks. So a ball will not stop. Like if they get a ball going left, it's going to be wet. So there's no rough down the left side of 18. It's all fairway. That's one thing I tell. I've seen the heatherness grow up around the bunkers. So especially around 17. If you guys don't remember when Watson's chipped in out of the rough and Kite too, they've let that grow back up. Tiger has asked for it. He's like, I want the traditional tight fairways, big rough. So I think it's all based on the weather. So if they get any type of sunshine, that thing is going to be fast, and they'll try to burn it out by Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what they're going to do and how they're going to. They have history there, so they know how to. Although last time it was there, Tiger just tore it up. So I don't know what they've changed from back when he won to present. So. It could be quite interesting. I can't wait to see it if I even get a chance to see it.
What's the week like? What's the agenda for the course?
Well, it's so just so you know, the USGA probably about 6 months ago has taken over this golf course. So Pebble Beach doesn't have any say on how it's being structured. So maybe even longer than that. They have an idea of how they want to construct it. So then they'll let the grass grow a certain way, and then they'll mow from that point on. But the USGA has full control of the golf course, and the USGA sets up the pins. And when you hand over a course to the USGA, they have the full right to just do whatever they want to it. They could almost destroy your greens if they want, because you make so much money off of the tournament, right? So if you say, yeah, you baked my greens and I'm going to have to put a lot of stuff, they say, well, you just made $1 million. You can go do that, or $2 million or whatever it is. So that's how that is, and then they'll actually see how the week is going. And when you get to a green at the U.S. Open, the USGA will actually they'll probably take 8 pin placements, and they'll put 8 pin placements together completely based on weather. So if the wind's blowing here, they do it this way. You got to open that up, I think. And if the wind's blowing this direction, you got to open up. You got to put the pins in this direction. So the pins are always based and put together based on weather in all 4 directions. So they can, they don't want to put a pin in a spot where if it's blowing so hard, you can't keep the ball on the green, right? So the balls are rolling up, and you can do that in certain spots. The 4th green is really front to back, and if you get that thing baked really hard, and you're hitting putts up to a back pin, and it keeps coming back to you, like you got issues there because maybe the wind's blowing, in the direction. So they'll put 8 pin placements together per green. And then they'll pick and choose, so they know how the weather system's coming and how to go ahead and put the pins together for that.
Do you know how long before the start of the first round they'll punch the cups?
Oh, so they'll actually be doing all that stuff pretty much later this week to the beginning of next week.
Got it.
Yeah. I've actually caddied in a U.S. Open, women's U.S. Open, and I saw them doing that. They were finishing up on Monday, Tuesday, because they don't want to get in the way of the players that are going out and hitting balls. And so I want to say a lot of that will be done Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I would say that's how they pick their pins. Plus, they have history from the past, like, where pins were and where the wind was and all that kind of stuff. So they have history there. And that's kind of what the players will probably go off of. They will actually practice in the spots where, the Open had pins there last time. But
we know how tough that course is for a golfer. How tough is it for a caddy?
It's not that bad. No, it's not that bad at all. It's bad if you're sitting in the rough, walking in the rough all day long. Yeah. But no, it's a second shot golf course. The eighth hole, which I think is one of the most stunning second shots in golf. Yeah. Nicholas calls it the hardest second shot in golf. Mm-hmm. If there's any wind at all, I mean, you just hit and hope, right? So the golf course, what you need to do is you need to get off to a great run from 1 to 7. 1 to 7 is the key to the golf course. That can set up your whole entire round, because you're going to have to hold on for the ride 8, 9, and 10. And that is a real big, strong part of the golf course. And then you finish it by 16, 17, and 18. So if you can score from 1 to 7 and 11 through 14, 15, 11 through 15, those holes right there is the core to your success. And then the other ones are you're just par is your friend. So, and if you make birdie, I think you picked up shots, to be honest with you. Wow. So that's the key, because 1, you can hit an iron off of and have like 9 iron in, right? 2 is a reachable par 5, okay? 3 is driver to 3-wood, and you have maybe 9 iron down. 4 is almost a drivable par 4, so you can hit iron to a sand wedge. 5 is a really good par 3. I mean, you're hitting between 5 and 6 iron into that based on the wind, but you have to really carve a good iron shot there. And 6 is a par 5. If you drive it in the middle of the fairway, you have a chance to reach in 2. And 7 is the legendary 7th hole, which is a sand wedge or a pitching wedge. So there's all your scoring is if you can get yourself 3 or 4 under par, and you go into 8, 9, and 10, and you can get through those at even par or maybe 1 over, you're fine. Now you got a little bit of hitting golf shots. They're stronger holes. 11's a shorter hole, but it's very unique. The green is very severe, so you have to hit a shot in there that's going to be able to put you on the right side of the hole. Pebble Beach, in certain areas, it's almost better that you're putting from 15 to 20 feet straight up at it than having something above it or pin high that breaks a lot or is just lightning fast on the way down. So, when you're playing in the U.S. Open, especially later in the rounds, which is Saturday, Sunday, you need to work up to these holes, right? You need to even chip up to the holes, right? So it's, so it should be great. It should be a great event, and I think it's Pebble Beach's 100th year. It's a big year for them, and it's just a legendary place. It's God's country up there.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It's the Monterey Peninsula. So it's
that's why they pay you to drive around it. You have to pay to drive around.
17-mile drive. Yeah. So, but it should be fun. I got a couple picks here.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Now, if the weather gets way out of hand, who do you like?
When you say way out, they're just windy and tough.
Yeah. Are you picking somebody different?
Flip a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it could be anybody.
It's whoever didn't cry themselves to sleep the night before.
Right. Yeah. It's chalky. My picks are chalky. I got a couple like.
Okay.
I'll throw in an additional 2 guys that could be like just.
All right.
Because the one thing about the U.S. Open is it's an open. It's open to anybody to try to qualify. So 60 players, the top 50 in the world, are automatically in. right? And then there's another 65 or 70 that actually have to qualify for it, right? So it allows the Joe Public, we if our handicap's low enough, we can go try to qualify for this tournament, right? So, there's a lot of tour players that are exempt to every single tournament. That's because they're not top 50 in the world, they have to go qualify for it. So now they're exempt into sectionals, but there's a whole regional and sectional, So some of these people that qualified yesterday, they played 18 holes, about a month and a half ago, and then they had to walk 36 yesterday and qualify in one day. So, so my pick to win the whole thing, and he likes the golf course, he plays well there, is Dustin Johnson. He's a bomber. He's a great driver of the golf ball. He controls his wedges. He's played great in opens before. If he drives the ball, he's going to be really tough to play. And he can play in wind. I don't know. I haven't done the 10-day forecast, so I don't know what it's going to be like. Obviously, Tiger, right? Tiger's is on a roll. He's playing well. He loves the golf course. He's won on the golf course. He's won an Open on the golf course. He's he's taken himself from 800 and something in the world to 5th in the world. Yeah, it's a great story, right? It's and he's playing good. He's played pretty good at the Memorial. Xander Schauffele, San Diego kid.
Okay.
Hits the ball very straight. I think he's somebody that possibly could pop through and win an Open. He's won before on tour now. And so I think he's a kid that actually, he's a SoCal kid, so he's played up there in amateur tournaments and stuff, so he knows the golf course. And he's taken the last couple weeks off, so I think he's really gearing himself towards this event. I'll take Justin Rose, and Justin Rose, is very chalky here, but he just really knows how to play U.S. Opens. And my fifth pick is the kid who just won, Patrick Cantlay, the kid from UCLA. He just won on a golf course that actually had somewhat of a feel to a U.S. Open. Greens are really, the greens were softer, but the greens, the fairways were tight, the rough was up, and the kid goes out and shoots 64 in the last round to win by a couple, and that was pretty impressive. Again, local kid, playing well, knows Pebble Beach, so probably taking this week off now after the win, and will prep himself and get ready for the Open. So that's kind of my chalk, right?
Right.
A couple guys had to qualify yesterday, and they actually put up good numbers. One of them, I don't know if
it wasn't Jake, was it?
No, Jake missed the cut.
Yeah. I was horrible yesterday at Muni, so I had no business being there.
So Jake's a +4 though in the driving range. Never misses a shot.
Never misses a shot.
And
on the 19th hole too.
Never misses a shot.
Never.
Or two.
Yeah. So the one is won a major, and he's actually been playing pretty good of late. If he can get his putter going, I think he'd be very in contention because he's such a great ball striker, is Jason Duffner. Okay. I'm going to take him as a long sleeper there. And the other guy is a guy who's just been playing almost week after week and actually been playing very consistent, always in the top 15. He shot like 69, 67 yesterday, something like that, to get through. And it's Rory Sabatini.
No.
Yeah, so there's another sleeper for you.
Oh my God.
I don't know if he's going to win, but don't be surprised if he's up there coming down the stretch in contention. Rory Sabatini.
Wow.
That's not.
You heard it here.
Yeah,
first.
Rory. McIlroy.
Yeah, no,
Rory Sabatini.
The other Rory.
Yeah. So that's two like dark horses for me. So
I like it. I like it.
That's who I picked, and